clown. But this city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The Democrats, you are gangsters.
Excuse me.
You are gangsters.
They have a protest of Robert De Niro yesterday. He's a fool. He's a broken down fool standing out there, and he got maggot. He got maggot yesterday. He got a big dose of it.
Trump just destroyed Robert De Niro for slamming him on live TV. Robert De Niro has always been vocal about hating Trump, from calling him a clown, monster, and dictator during his 2024 court appearance to trashing him on late-night shows and award stages. He's made his opinion loud and clear. But now, Trump's had enough, and you won't believe what his response was. Not only has Trump personally clapped back, but De Niro's career is going up in flames. Trump supporters are coming for him.
Mook, M-O-O-K, Mook! You're a traitor to Italian and Jews! You're a traitor to Italian Jews, you
A discrimination lawsuit has landed, and he's even had a major award stripped. Here's what went down, and why it could be the final blow for De Niro.
Do you remember Robert De Niro? The tough guy who played Raging Bull Jake LaMotta and Goodfellas wise guy Jimmy Conway? But lately has become a weeping, shrieking victim of Trump derangement syndrome?
Robert De Niro's hatred for Donald Trump didn't just start when Trump became president. It goes way back. Years before Trump even stepped into politics, De Niro already had a serious problem with him. It all started around 2011. Back then, Trump was still best known for being a reality TV guy, famous for his flashy lifestyle, his money, and of course for firing people on The Apprentice. But even then, De Niro despised him.
He's more than that to me. He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system. And I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names.
He started publicly mocking Trump, calling him a loudmouth and a bully.
There's nothing about him, there's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see ever. It's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong.
He saw Trump as someone who craved attention but didn't deserve any respect. Basically, a guy no one should ever take seriously.
The guy's a monster. It's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.
But in 2016, everything changed. Trump announced he was running for president.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
And that's when De Niro's feelings turned from dislike to outright fear. He wasn't just annoyed by Trump anymore. He was horrified, and he couldn't believe someone like Trump was actually being considered for the White House. So De Niro decided to speak up. He joined Hillary Clinton's campaign and appeared in a brutally honest ad. In that video, De Niro didn't hold back at all. He said exactly what he thought of Trump, even threatening him with violence and throwing out as many below-the-belt insults as he could.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face.
But then Trump won, and this set off a whole new level of anger in De Niro. He didn't just disagree with Trump, he believed Trump was a real threat to the country. So in January 2017, while most of the world was attending the presidential inauguration, De Niro made headlines by refusing to go. He called Trump a national embarrassment and made it clear he wanted no part of it.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
From that point on, De Niro became one of Trump's biggest critics in Hollywood. By June 2018, things had escalated again. At the Tony Awards show packed with celebrities, De Niro stood up in front of the crowd and millions watching at home and just tore into Trump.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
But this time, Trump noticed. Trump fired back with classic insults. He went online and called De Niro a low IQ individual and a washed-up actor. Still, De Niro wasn't fazed. In fact, it just fueled him more. He started going even harder in interviews, calling Trump names, attacking his character, calling him a white supremacist, a racist, a con man, and a fraud.
He's so stupid. Look at the lame, inane things that he said. He's so stupid, he can't even say anything clever.
The two men weren't just enemies in politics. They hated each other on a personal level.
He tweeted that the actor is a low IQ individual who took too many shots to the head while he was making boxing movies like Raging Bull and Grudge Match. And the president says it all left him punch drunk. And here comes the Trump nickname. He wrote, "Wake up, Punchy."
In 2019, when the Mueller investigation, which looked into whether Trump's campaign worked with Russia to win the 2016 election, was all over the news, De Niro was out there again, shouting, "Lock him up" at events, pushing hard for impeachment, and saying Trump was too stupid to even know he's evil.
In the words of the Mueller report, no person is above the law.
This guy should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when you got up there and cursed. A lot of racism of you. Okay, well, you know, this is cable,
Sorry.
so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
Well,
I do wonder why you choose to go that way.
Let me say something.
Why do you choose to go that way?
We are at a moment in our life, in this country, where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along and he's said things, done things we say over and over again. This is terrible. We're in a terrible situation.
And then came 2020 and COVID. De Niro was furious over how the pandemic was handled. He blamed Trump for thousands of deaths. He said Trump didn't care who died as long as his ego stayed intact. While others were debating policy or trying to keep things political, De Niro went straight for the jugular. He said Trump had blood on his hands.
It's appalling. It's appalling. He wants to be reelected. He doesn't even care how many people die.
But even as Trump attacked him online, mocking his acting, calling him irrelevant, De Niro refused to back off. Then in 2023, he stepped back into the political ring, starring in a campaign ad for Joe Biden. This time, his message was even more intense. He said the 2024 election wasn't just another vote, it was a fight for democracy itself. He believed that if Trump got back into office, it could be the end of America as we know it. By 2024, this feud wasn't just a footnote in De Niro's career, it was a major part of his public life. At a film premiere that September, De Niro once again unloaded on Trump. He said Trump wanted to destroy the country. He said Trump couldn't even direct a movie, let alone run a nation. In interview after interview, he repeated the same message: Trump must be stopped.
I don't think they understand how dangerous it will be if he ever, God forbid, becomes president. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler. They don't take him serious. He looks like a clown, acts like a clown. Mussolini, same thing. These guys, I don't know why, they look like clowns. They somehow, people, that element of society identifies in some ways with them, but it would be chaos beyond our imagination.
Then came March 2024. De Niro appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and what happened next went viral, as Kimmel read out Trump's latest attacks, saying De Niro wasn't a good actor anymore. De Niro snapped. He tore into Trump, calling him a narcissist and a sociopath.
I just don't know. It's all an act in a certain way. It's all out of insecurity. He's deeply, deeply insecure. He is a malignant narcissist. He's a socio-psychopath. He's created some new language as far as describing somebody in his mental condition. It's so frightening and scary, and he's dangerous. We got to get rid of him.
But things didn't stop there. De Niro went after the Republican Party too, especially the politicians who he said knew the truth about Trump but were too afraid to stand up to him. He said, shame on them. They had the chance to stop him, and they didn't. Finally, he ended with a message to every viewer watching: vote and keep Trump out of office for good.
Shame on those Republicans that don't have the nerve, the balls to go after him. And in all seriousness, and we know it here, people have to get out and vote and vote and vote and vote.
Cut to May 2024. De Niro finally crossed the line with his hate campaign against Trump, a move that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Trump's hush money trial was reaching its final days in Manhattan. He was facing 34 felony charges, all tied to a $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels during the 2016 election. Prosecutors said he covered it up to protect his campaign, but Trump called the whole thing a witch hunt. On May 24th, right outside the courthouse and backed by Biden's campaign, De Niro turned up all guns blazing. With cameras everywhere and 2 former Capitol cops by his side, he launched into a full-blown rant. He called Trump a clown, a monster, saying that he reminded him of dictators who were once laughed off as jokes until they got power. He warned that if Trump returned to the White House, American freedoms would vanish. De Niro wasn't holding back, but he wasn't helping his side either.
This buffoon running for president, no, never could happen. We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance, and no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all.
Unfortunately for him, Trump supporters were already there, and they weren't going to take his smear campaign sitting down. They heckled De Niro, shouted him down, and the whole scene turned into a chaotic screaming match.
You're a nobody! You're trash! You think by yelling and intimidating, you're not going to intimidate. That's what Trump does to Trump. Intimidate. We are going to fight back.
You're washed
We're
up.
trying to
You're
do it
washed up. You're washed up.
We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The
You're
Democrats.
washed up.
You are gangsters.
You're washed up.
You are gangsters.
You touch kids! You touch kids! You suck my your mother should have swallowed.
De Niro snapped back, calling them cowards, blaming Republicans for enabling Trump, and pushing even harder. But by then, the damage was done. It didn't look like a serious press conference anymore. It looked like a meltdown.
You ain't Bobby De Niro, you ain't you piece of.
But while all this was playing out, Trump's lawyers inside the courtroom were arguing that the case was politically motivated, and De Niro's stunt outside only proved their point further. Instead of hurting Trump, De Niro gave him exactly what he wanted. What was meant to be a takedown turned into a collapse, and Trump used it to his advantage. It was only a matter of time before Trump hit back, and when he did, it was ruthless. He didn't waste a second getting revenge on De Niro.
They have a protest of Robert De Niro yesterday. He's a fool. He's a broken down fool. Standing out there, and he got maggot. He got maggot yesterday. He got a big dose of it.
Hours after the viral courthouse stunt, he lit up Truth Social, calling him a wacko with an incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome. He mocked De Niro, saying his movies, artistry, and brand had all tanked since backing Biden.
My word, we had a lefty lose it in spectacular fashion outside a Manhattan courtroom this week, just a couple of days before the verdict in the third world-style Banana Republic Trump show trial. Yes, there is our broken old lefty wearing a mask outdoors, naturally. It's none other than Robert De Niro, who decided to prove to the world that he is suffering from an acute case of Trump derangement syndrome.
His campaign followed up fast. Jason Miller dismissed the whole thing as a publicity stunt. Stephen Chung said Biden's team was spiraling, panicking over Trump's strength in the polls and hiding behind celebrity distractions.
The best that Biden can do is roll out a washed-up actor. And don't worry, my remarks will be shorter than The Irishman. I won't make you suffer for 3 hours. But the best they can do is roll out a washed-up actor.
Then came the final blow. Trump pointed to the chaos outside the courthouse, saying De Niro was met with a force far greater than the radical left. His team pushed a clip of De Niro lashing out, calling Trump supporters gangsters, a moment that made headlines and fired up the base.
We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The Democrats. You are gangsters. You are gangsters.
What was meant to smear Trump ended up working in his favor. His team framed it as proof the trial was all politics, and Biden's crew was running scared. De Niro tried to drag Trump down and only made him look stronger. But after that courthouse chaos, De Niro's problems didn't stop. In fact, they got worse. Trump supporters started digging, and what they found was bad. A lawsuit that had been buried in headlines rose back to the surface, and suddenly De Niro was being painted as the villain. Back in 2019, his former assistant, Graham Chase Robinson, sued him and his company, Canal Productions. She said she was overworked, underpaid, and treated like a servant, washing his sheets, organizing his underwear, dealing with verbal abuse, all while being called names no one should have to hear at work. Listen to this shocking audio released from the case.
Chase, you're living in Spain, and you're upset with me because you tell me how nice you have it, your life over there, and you don't answer my call? How dare you? You're about to be fired. You're history. How dare you with all the good things you do? This is bullshit. After Christmas, this. How dare you disrespect me? How much you did? You want another position? You want another position? Then say you want another position. Go off somewhere. But don't get angry with me because I'm pissed off because I didn't get a simple thing that I need right now here out in California when I'm here for less than 24 hours. You gotta be kidding me, you spoiled brat. You. So quit whatever you want. God damn it. How could you say you don't answer? You're upset because you're living in Spain. You spoiled brat.
Fast forward to late 2023, and a jury agreed. De Niro's company was ordered to pay $1.2 million for gender discrimination and retaliation. De Niro didn't have to pay personally, but the damage was done. He admitted to yelling at her, but claimed he wasn't abusive. Still, that didn't stop the headlines. Then came another blow. The National Association of Broadcasters stripped him of their Service to America award. It was supposed to honor his humanitarian work, but after his courthouse meltdown, the group said his speech became a distraction. They pulled the award just days before the ceremony.
Oscar-winning actor Robert De Niro is losing out on getting another award after an appearance this week on behalf of the Biden campaign outside the courthouse where former President Trump was on trial.
In the span of months, De Niro went from being a respected actor to being canceled.
Graham Chase Robinson claimed she was referred to as an office wife and was assigned to tasks such as washing sheets, sewing clothing, and scratching De Niro's back. The jury awarded Robinson $1.2 million in damages. It did not find the actor individually liable.
The way that Mr. De Niro treated Ms. Robinson was discriminatory and it was retaliatory, and there need to be consequences for that.
Robert De Niro's war on Trump may have finally blown up in his face. The courtroom drama, the lost award, and the explosive lawsuit haven't just damaged his brand. They've exposed who he really is. And now, De Niro's legacy is on the line. He's no longer dominating headlines for iconic roles, but for rants, lawsuits, and political drama. The real question now is, can De Niro pull off a comeback, or is this the final curtain on his career?
You touch kids! You touch kids! You suck my your mother should have swallowed.
What are your thoughts? Do you think Robert De Niro's career is over? Is cancel culture catching up with De Niro? Or is he being unfairly targeted for his beliefs? Is this really about Trump? Or is De Niro fighting to stay relevant? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into today's most controversial issues. And if you enjoyed this, click the next video on your screen for more.